Welcome to my YouTube channel. If there is one genre that hasn't been fully exploited by the makers of web series, it is that of crime. And there are clear reasons for this. The proliferation of crime has created a certain expectation for what it should look like on screen, and this portrayal is expensive. Anything less and the results look cheap and hacky. So with the costs for obtaining specialized props and creating action scenes that avoid cheese beginning to mount, independent producers give up on their heist series and go back to their show about four 20-somethings talking and sharing a flat in Brooklyn. But scarce as they may be, those that do dabble in the genre are out there, and when they don't overreach, they can be pretty good. Here are the 8 top best crime web series. Number 8. The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. The series is about the life of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, Evan Peters. Other main characters include Dahmer's father Lionel, Richard Jenkins, stepmother Sherry, Molly Ringwald, suspicious neighbor Glenda, Niecy Nash, and grandmother Catherine. Michael learned. American biographical crime drama limited series created by Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan for Netflix. It aired for one season on September 21, 2022. Murphy also serves as showrunner and executive producer along with Brennan. The series was controversial upon its release. While Peters' performance was praised by some critics, the series has largely received controversy and backlash for the glamorized, disrespectful, and exploitative nature of Dahmer and his atrocities. Dahmer's surviving victims and relatives of deceased victims have harshly criticized the series for similar reasons, with many calling the series traumatizing. The show has led to several people preemptively dressing up as Dahmer for Halloween, which victims have also criticized. eBay has banned all Dahmer costumes from its site. 7. Whitey. For those who already find the actual story of James Joseph Whitey Bulger to be almost unbelievable, an FBI informant indicted for 19 murders and then on the lam for 16 years, this fictionalized reality may verge on ridiculous. But if you persevere, you will not find the amateurish schlock fest that you may expect. Instead, Jeff Hennessy's Whitey is a slightly embellished but tightly scripted study of a man who for 12 years was second only to Osama bin Laden on the FBI's most wanted list. Oh, you say, but isn't there a Johnny Depp movie on the same guy coming out soon? Sure, we say, but wait for that at your peril. It looks just about as good as everything else Depp has done in the past 5 years. 6. Bert Paxton, Private Detective. If the way that BTK was caught teaches us anything, asking the police whether it was safe to taunt them via floppy disk and then leaving ID information in the metadata of a doc file, it's that there is room for humor in even the most sickening of crimes. Bert Grinstead's ham-fisted gumshoe thankfully doesn't usually have to deal with crimes on the scale of Dennis Rader's, but while he can't find a clue to save his life, he uses his powers of ratiocination to uncover puns in even the most unlikely places. Lovers of Frank Drebin will know the show's arcs and zings intimately, and a well-meaning idiot is a stock character that anyone can enjoy. Sure, Grinstead's no Leslie Nielsen, but who is, or whoever could be. 5. Psych of a Psycho. If you can put the irresponsibility of rashly diagnosing people, real or otherwise, with a mental disorder to the back of your mind, then there is plenty to like about this Vanity Fair series. FBI agent Candace DeLong, who worked on the Unabomber case, spends a few minutes analyzing the likes of fictional villains Michael Corleone, Walter White, and Frank Underwood, hoping to dig up some psychopathic tendencies. The title of the series robs it of any mystery concerning the diagnosis. It's nevertheless always a thrill to watch a young Michael shooting both Sollozzo and McCluskey in the face. 4. Necessary Evil. Central character Dan Murphy is billed as an ex-mob enforcer who spends his retirement killing the scum of the earth, which quite succinctly sums up the central premise of the series. The 2 episodes produced so far feature a detailed torture session involving a pedophile. And while accusations against Necessary Evil concerning the glamorization of violence may be somewhat compelling, this series is more than just some teenager's wet revenge porn dream. It's also a neat examination of the legacy of a father's sins and questioning whether evil is born or created. Trust me, it's there, right under the guns, sadism, and babes. 3. The Regular Guys, CEKR. The producers of The Regular Guys, CEKR stands for Call, Earn, Kill, Repeat, are calling it India's first crime web series. And while it displays its influences in plain sight, the central characters are obsessed with English crime movies, and posters of Scarface and The Godfather are displayed prominently. It is still very much of its place. The mysterious Ashar, for instance, is a dead ringer for cricketing superstar Virat Kohli, and the best demonstration of his power has nothing to do with weapons and everything to do with his ability to go straight into bat at a pickup game. That each episode features dozens of locations is a testament to the energy of the producers. It has been shot quickly and cleanly, and as such the action flows. But you sort of wish that they spent a little longer in the editing room, the sound being horrendous and no small obstacle to the show's enjoyment. Luckily, it's subtitled though, so there's no great loss to turn off the Hindi and immerse yourself in probably the only web series out there dealing with illegal Delhi call centers. 2. The Photographer. Murder in Pinamar. The murder of photojournalist José Luis Cabezas in the summer of 1997 shocked Argentina. After a massive investigation and civilian protests, it was ultimately revealed that an organized crime network that involved the country's political and financial elite was behind it. If you're into untangling government secrets and shady dealings, this one is for you. One is the true historical story of John Law is an extraordinary romp through a decadent aristocratic age. A visionary economist and gambler, and at one point, the richest man in the world, Law all but invented modern capitalism and even coined the term millionaire. In 18th century Paris, John Law aspires to become banker for the French monarchy, currying the favor of Louis XIV by bartering the affections of his wife and partner, Catherine. The other is the contemporary story of John's fictional descendant, Theo Law, which takes place against a backdrop of international crime. As the world's most successful money launderer, Theo is the product of today's toxic financial environment. In 21st century London, his descendant Theo orchestrates the movement of money around the dark web for the Russian mafia and the cash-strapped Vatican. 1. The Watcher and the Ryan Murphyization of true crime. Reeves Wiedeann's engrossing 2018 New York about the Broaddus family's purchase of a house in Westfield, New Jersey in 2014 and the ominous letters that followed from The Watcher. Wiedemann gave us the spoiler up front. Case has still not been solved, there are new theories. So the series tries to spin its mystery, Ryan Murphy style. And that's the problem. Written by Murphy and Ian Brennan, The Watcher follows Dean Cannavale and Nora Watts Brannock after they move their family into a sought-after home in suburban New Jersey and begin receiving threatening letters and creepy visits. In reality, the Broaddus family never fully moved into the house. There are plenty of neighborly suspects. Mia Farrow's Pearl, who appears to be dressed as Wednesday from the Addams Family, and her brother Jasper, Terry Kinney. Richard Kind and Margot Martindale ramp things up as possibly satanic neighbors, though that storyline never really goes anywhere. And then there's Jennifer Coolidge as a real estate agent named Karen. No notes. That's a great cast of busybodies, but The Watcher also flirts with a supernatural element, something that wasn't part of the real story. There are some creepy moments, and some head-scratching plotlines, like the relationship between Dean and Nora's 16-year-old daughter and the 19-year-old security camera installer they hired. Thanks for watching.